Hi everyone, here is a funny story. My wife cheated on me, and I told her mum about it, but I swear I had no idea her mum would do that. Alex Johnson's life seemed perfect. As a successful construction project manager, he had a beautiful wife, Evelyn, and a wonderful daughter, Jessica. His home was his sanctuary, filled with love and warmth. But all that shattered one fateful day. It was supposed to be a routine search for Christmas decorations in the attic. Alex stumbled upon an old flip phone hidden in a dusty box. Curiosity piqued, he powered it on and found messages from a man named David. The texts were explicit, revealing a passionate affair between David and Evelyn. His heart pounded as he read through the messages. Every word was a dagger, piercing his soul. The perfect life he thought he had was a lie. Unable to confront Evelyn immediately, he decided to gather more evidence. He needed to know the full extent of her betrayal before taking any action. Alex installed hidden cameras and recording devices in their home. Days turned into weeks as he watched Evelyn's interactions. The footage he collected revealed intimate moments between Evelyn and David. His heart broke further each time he saw them together. But the most shocking revelation came during a phone call where David admitted to orchestrating Alex's kidnapping years ago. The following days were a blur for Alex. He tried to maintain a semblance of normalcy, going to work and participating in family activities, but the weight of what he had discovered loomed over him. At work, he found it difficult to focus on projects and meetings. His colleagues noticed his distraction, but he brushed off their concerns with vague explanations about personal issues. At home, Alex watched Evelyn closely. She seemed blissfully unaware of his inner turmoil, going about her daily routines with the same care and attention as always. She cooked meals for the family, helped Jessica with her homework, and chatted with Alex about her day. Each act of normalcy felt like a mockery of the trust she had shattered. Jessica, sensing the tension, tried to bridge the gap between her parents. She organized family movie nights and suggested weekend outings, hoping to rekindle the warmth they once shared. Alex played along, but his mind was always elsewhere, replaying the scenes he had watched on the hidden cameras. One evening, after a particularly strained family dinner, Alex excused himself and retreated to the attic. He sat in the dimly lit space, the glow of the flip phone illuminating his face as he scrolled through the messages again. He felt a burning need for clarity, to understand why Evelyn had turned to David and how long the affair had been going on. Determined to find the truth, Alex decided to delve deeper into Evelyn's life. He began checking her emails and social media accounts, looking for any signs of her infidelity. The more he dug, the more he uncovered. There were love letters hidden in her email drafts, photos of secret rendezvous, and messages filled with promises of love and passion. The pain was unbearable, but Alex couldn't stop himself. He needed to know everything, to piece together the timeline of her betrayal. He discovered that the affair had started shortly after his kidnapping. Evelyn had been lonely and vulnerable, and David had taken advantage of her emotional state. With each new piece of evidence, Alex's anger grew. He felt a burning desire for revenge, a need to make Evelyn and David pay for the pain they had caused. But he knew he couldn't act impulsively. He needed a plan, a way to expose their affair and bring them down without destroying himself in the process. Alex's confrontation with Evelyn was explosive. With evidence in hand, he demanded the truth. Evelyn, cornered, broke down and admitted to the affair. She pleaded for forgiveness, tears streaming down her face. "Alex, I was lonely. I thought you were dead. David was there for me when I needed someone," she sobbed. The pain in Alex's heart was unbearable. He couldn't believe the woman he loved had betrayed him so deeply. He needed time to process everything, so he moved into a nearby motel, leaving Evelyn and Jessica behind. At the motel, He couldn't escape the images of Evelyn and David. He was torn between his love for Evelyn and his anger and betrayal. The need for revenge began to consume him. He contacted some old comrades, men he trusted with his life. They agreed to help him bring down David. The days at the motel were long and lonely. Alex found himself slipping into a routine of drinking and watching the footage from the hidden cameras, each replay only deepening his resentment. He avoided contact with Evelyn, only speaking to Jessica to reassure her that everything would be okay. Jessica, worried about her father's state, visited him frequently. She brought him homemade meals and tried to engage him in conversation, but Alex remained distant. He didn't want to burden her with the full extent of his anguish. At work, Alex's performance continued to decline. He missed deadlines and made careless mistakes, prompting his boss to call him in for a meeting. "Alex, I know you're going through something personal, but it's affecting your work. You need to take some time off," his boss suggested. Alex nodded, knowing that his mind was too clouded to function properly. He took the time off, focusing solely on his plan for revenge. Meanwhile, Evelyn was struggling with her own guilt. She had confessed her affair, but the consequences were more devastating than she had imagined. She missed Alex terribly and regretted her actions deeply. She tried to reach out to him, leaving voicemails and sending texts, but Alex's responses were cold and curt. She also faced the challenge of maintaining a semblance of normalcy for Jessica. She continued her daily routines, but there was a noticeable strain in her interactions with her daughter. Jessica, sensing the tension, became more withdrawn and spent most of her time in her room. Evelyn sought solace in her mother, Mary. They met regularly, and Mary provided a sympathetic ear. She encouraged Evelyn to keep trying to reconcile with Alex, believing that time and effort could heal their wounds. "Just give him space, Evelyn. He needs time to process everything," Mary advised during one of their conversations. Evelyn nodded, though she felt an overwhelming sense of helplessness. She wanted to fix things, but didn't know where to start. During his separation from Evelyn, Alex found solace in her younger sister, Jessica. She offered a listening ear and a shoulder to cry on. They bonded over shared pain and experiences, and Alex started to develop feelings for her. Jessica had always admired Alex's strength and dedication to his family. Seeing him so vulnerable stirred something in her. She found herself drawn to him, wanting to comfort and support him in ways that went beyond sibling-in-law duties. One night, after a particularly emotional conversation, Alex and Jessica found themselves in each other's arms. The kiss they shared was intense, filled with pent-up emotions. Before they knew it, they were undressing each other, their need for comfort and connection overwhelming. Jessica's hands roamed over Alex's body, and he responded with equal fervor. They fell onto the bed, lost in their passion. Their lovemaking was intense and raw, a desperate attempt to fill the void left by their respective betrayals. "Jessica," Alex murmured, his breath hot against her ear. "I need this. I need you." Jessica responded with a moan, pulling him closer. Their bodies moved in unison, driven by a primal need. For a moment, they forgot their pain, lost in the physical connection they shared. The affair between Alex and Jessica brought a complicated mix of emotions. While they found solace and passion in each other, the guilt and betrayal were ever present. They met secretly, careful to avoid detection, but the weight of their actions was a constant shadow. Alex struggled with his feelings for both Evelyn and Jessica. He loved Evelyn, but her betrayal had shattered his trust. Jessica, on the other hand, offered a new kind of solace, one that he found hard to resist. Their clandestine meetings were filled with intense emotions and physical attraction. Each encounter left them both satisfied and conflicted. They knew they were playing with fire, but neither could bring themselves to stop. One evening, as they lay in each other's arms, Jessica whispered, "Alex, what are we doing? This isn't right." "I know," Alex replied, his voice heavy with regret. "But I can't seem to stop. I need you, Jessica." Jessica sighed, her fingers tracing patterns on his chest. "I need you too, but this is tearing me apart." The secret affair between Alex and Jessica continued. They met in secret, sharing passionate moments whenever they could. The guilt of betraying Evelyn began to weigh on both of them, but the intensity of their emotions kept pulling them back together. Alex struggled with his feelings for both Evelyn and Jessica. He loved Evelyn, but her betrayal had shattered his trust. Jessica, on the other hand, offered a new kind of solace, one that he found hard to resist. Their clandestine meetings were filled with intense emotions and physical attraction. Each encounter left them both satisfied and conflicted. They knew they were playing with fire, but neither could bring themselves to stop. One afternoon, Alex and Jessica met at a secluded cabin. The anticipation of their time together heightened their senses. As they undressed each other, the outside world disappeared, leaving only their urgent need for each other. Jessica's hands moved over Alex's body, exploring every inch with a mix of tenderness and desire. Their bodies intertwined, moving in a rhythm that was both familiar and exhilarating. The intensity of their connection left them both breathless and yearning for more. Afterward, they lay together, the silence filled with unspoken words. Jessica broke the silence, her voice tinged with sadness. "Alex, we can't keep doing this. It's tearing us apart." Alex looked into her eyes, seeing the conflict mirrored in his own. "I know, Jessica, but I can't seem to let you go. I need you more than I can explain." Jessica sighed, her fingers tracing the contours of his face. "I need you too, Alex, but we can't keep living this lie. It's not fair to Evelyn, and it's not fair to us." Alex nodded, knowing she was right. The weight of their secret was becoming too much to bear. They both needed to make a decision, one that would either end their affair or change their lives forever. The turning point came when Alex decided to confront Evelyn again, this time with more resolve. He needed to put an end to the chaos and find some semblance of peace. With a heavy heart, he arranged a meeting with her at their home. "Evelyn, we need to talk," Alex said, his voice steady despite the turmoil inside. Evelyn nodded, tears already welling up in her eyes. "I know, Alex. I've been waiting for this." They sat down in the living room, the place where they had shared so many happy moments. The silence between them was thick with unspoken words and unresolved feelings. "Why, Evelyn? Why did you turn to David?" Alex's voice cracked, the pain evident. Evelyn took a deep breath. "I was lonely, Alex. I thought I had lost you forever. David was there when I needed someone. But it was a mistake, a terrible mistake. I'm so sorry." The sincerity in her voice was clear, but it did little to ease Alex's pain. "I loved you, Evelyn. I still do. But your betrayal cut me deeply." Evelyn reached out, taking his hand. "I know, Alex, and I want to make things right. I want to rebuild what we've lost." They agreed to try counseling, hoping to mend the broken pieces of their relationship. It was a tentative step towards healing, but both knew it would be a long and difficult journey. Meanwhile, Jessica struggled with her own guilt and shame. She had moved to a different city, trying to start fresh and distance herself from the chaos she had been part of. She found a new job and focused on her career, but thoughts of Alex lingered in her mind. She and Alex kept in touch, their conversations filled with longing and regret. They both knew they needed to move on, but the bond they had formed was hard to break. One evening, Jessica received a call from Alex. "I miss you, Jessica. Can we talk?" Jessica's heart skipped a beat. She knew talking to Alex would reopen old wounds, but she couldn't ignore the connection they shared. She replied, "I miss you too. Let's talk." They spoke for hours, sharing their struggles and emotions. It was a bittersweet conversation, filled with the realization that they needed to let go, but not entirely sure how to. Alex and Evelyn's journey towards healing was long and painful. They attended counseling sessions, working through their issues and rebuilding trust. The process was slow, but they were committed to making it work. They started by focusing on small acts of kindness and communication. Alex made an effort to be more present, listening to Evelyn and supporting her in ways he hadn't before. Evelyn, in turn, worked on being more open and honest about her feelings. Their relationship gradually began to improve. They started going on dates again, rediscovering the joy of each other's company. They took weekend trips to their favorite places, creating new memories and reinforcing their bond. Jessica's new life was filled with challenges, but she embraced them as opportunities for growth. She found solace in her work and started building new friendships. The distance from Alex and Evelyn gave her the space she needed to heal, but the memories of their time together lingered. She often thought about the nights she spent with Alex, the passion they shared, and the guilt that followed. She missed him, but she knew that moving on was the best thing for all of them. One weekend, Jessica returned to visit her family. The reunion was emotional, filled with hugs and tears. She spent time catching up with Evelyn and Jessica, trying to rebuild their relationship. Despite their reconciliation, Alex continued to meet Jessica secretly. Their affair persisted, driven by a complex mix of emotions and physical attraction. They met in secluded places, careful to avoid detection. Alex hid his ongoing affair from Evelyn, trying to balance both relationships. He felt guilty, but his desire for Jessica was too strong to resist. Jessica, too, struggled with her feelings. She knew what they were doing was wrong, but the connection she felt with Alex was undeniable. One afternoon, as they lay entwined in each other's arms, Jessica said, "Alex, we can't keep doing this. It's not fair to Evelyn." "I know," Alex replied, kissing her gently. "But I can't let you go. Not yet." Jessica's heart ached. She loved Alex, but the guilt of betraying Evelyn gnawed at her. "We have to find a way to stop, Alex. This isn't sustainable." Alex knew she was right, but the thought of ending their affair filled him with dread. He felt torn between his responsibilities to his wife and daughter and the intense emotions he had for Jessica. He promised himself that he would find a way to end things, but he kept delaying the inevitable. Back at home, the strain of the secret affair began to show. Alex became more distant, often lost in thought. Evelyn noticed the change, but attributed it to the stress of their ongoing efforts to rebuild their marriage. "Is everything okay, Alex?" she asked one evening as they sat down for dinner. Alex forced a smile. "Yeah, just a lot on my mind with work and everything." Evelyn nodded, accepting his explanation but still feeling a sense of unease. Jessica, sensing the growing tension, decided to take matters into her own hands. She knew that ending their affair was the only way to truly move forward. She arranged a final meeting with Alex at the secluded cabin where they had shared so many passionate moments. As they sat together, Jessica took his hand. "Alex, we need to end this. It's the only way for both of us to heal and move on." Alex's eyes filled with sadness. "I know, Jessica, but it's hard to let go." Jessica leaned in, kissing him softly. "I love you, Alex, but this is goodbye." With a heavy heart, Alex nodded. "Goodbye, Jessica." The decision to end the affair left Alex feeling empty and lost. He missed Jessica terribly, but he knew it was the right thing to do. He threw himself into his work and his family, trying to fill the void left by her absence. Evelyn noticed the change in him. He was more attentive, more engaged in their relationship. She felt hopeful, believing that they were finally on the path to healing. One night, as they lay in bed, Evelyn turned to Alex and said, "I'm proud of us, Alex. We've come so far." Alex smiled, feeling a mixture of relief and guilt. "I'm proud of us too, Evelyn. I love you." "I love you too," she replied, snuggling closer to him. Jessica started a new life, maintaining occasional contact with Alex and Evelyn. She focused on her career and personal growth, hoping to find peace. Despite the progress, Alex's secret meetings with Jessica lingered in his mind. He knew the affair had ended, but the memories and emotions remained. He vowed to keep his promise to Evelyn and never let his hidden desires destroy their family again. If you like our stories, please remember to subscribe to our channel so that I can push better stories to you in the future.